Good morning, Aries or Aries Crosswatcher. Thank you guys for being here with me today. This message can resonate for anyone that clicks on the video. It doesn't also have to resonate with everybody. Just take it as it does. You can also reverse this, but I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. So, Aries, I heard a couple of things before I clicked your video, but I got something about times are changing. And I also feel like you're definitely turning your back on someone. And I mean in a way of, it's either turn your back on yourself or turn your back on them. You get what I'm saying? Like, be honest to yourself or put another person above you. And you're not going to do that. You may have done that in the past. Maybe not with this particular person. Maybe. You know, I don't know who this person is, but there is a person that you're just kind of getting over it. You are. Or this could be past tense. Maybe you just recently are just over it. Maybe it's coming where you're going to decide, you know what, I'm going to wash my hands of it. And it doesn't have to be begrudgingly. You know, everybody, contrary to popular belief, thinks that we always do things angrily or we're always mad. No, we don't have to be mad at all. We can straight up just cut something off and it is what it is, you know? We can do it respectfully too and move about our life and pretend like it never happened. I feel like that's more so what something, like the direction something's going is. I'm going to say it's you, but it could be another. Maybe someone's turning their back on another and it has nothing to do with you, and maybe that's going to be a good thing for the two of you. But as far as now, I believe you either are right now, just recently have, or will in the near future come to a place where your better judgment says, I believe it's best. I was going to say think, but I don't think it's thinking, right? I don't think it's thinking. I know that it's not thinking. This is something that you're just kind of like, obviously this isn't for me. Or obviously another person is not for me. They're not for me. They're not right. Or something's off there. Or they don't support me fully. Or this isn't going anywhere. Or clearly they're not in my corner. It's something. I don't know on what level. So I'm just gonna either call it a loss. Maybe it's not that big. Maybe it's just like, I'm gonna get over it. I'm just gonna get over it. You know? You're definitely turning your back on someone, 100%. Times are changing. I don't know why I'm seeing Halloween here, but I'm getting a vision. Thank you, Spirit. There's a vision right now of either someone trick-or-treating themselves, maybe as a teenager, or they're walking their own children, or driving the car where their children trick-or-treat. Somebody's trick-or-treating here in my vision, and they go up to this particular house. Yes, they have their porch light on. They're knocking on the door, knocking on the door, knocking on the door. Clearly, if you don't want to participate in Halloween, you're not going to have your light on, so people don't knock on your door. But these people did. Maybe they just forgot. Maybe they forgot, you know? It's like if you didn't want anyone to knock, turn your fucking light off, right? I'm closing my eyes because I'm seeing this vision. So either this teenager or this adult, whoever, right? Somebody here, I'm going to say it to you, knocking on the door, spiritually speaking. Because by the looks of it, they're participating. They want visitors. They want they were waiting on it or something, right? Nobody comes to the door. That's what I'm getting. Nobody's come to the door, although someone here has kind of given the impression, right? They gave a certain impression. That they were interested, at least, in helping, participating, something. They could have easily just turned their porch light off, which would have said, don't approach me, which would have said, I'm not participating in this. Something. It would have, you wouldn't even have done it. You wouldn't have even tried. You know, they could have just been more so upfront or answered the door. You know, now maybe nobody was home, but let's talk about in my vision, people are home. I'm going to go ahead and say they are home. Their cars are there. It's more than just the porch light being on. You know, it doesn't look like someone forgot to turn the porch light off. It looks like I don't know what they were doing. And I think that's the point. You may be like, what is someone's point here? What were you hoping to get from me? Were you ever trying to? Like, what was this? What is this currently, if it's a current thing? Right? So I see somebody still knocking, and it's like the parent, you, and if it's not the parent, maybe it's your younger self walking to the door spiritually. This is like a spiritual thing, right? And you're in the car as the older you, and you're like, get back in the car. They're obviously not there. I guess they left their porch light on. Come on, come on. But yet you're still knocking. You're not going to do that anymore. Again, times are changing. You're even thinking about next Halloween. This is all figuratively speaking. Not even participating at all, just getting your own damn candy and staying home. It's safer. You ain't got to deal with people. You don't got to get out in the cold. You don't got to waste your gas. You don't got to sit there and knock for people who aren't going to, open the door for you. It's like, why even give me the impression or anything if it's almost like, is this like some sort of cruel, sick joke? Now this is not everybody's story, and remember, if this is not resonating right now, it's going to. I'm telling you, somebody here, and if it's not you, this is someone else. It's like, I feel like you almost reeled me in a way. You could have easily said you weren't about to try to help me. You could have easily said you didn't have feelings for me. You could have easily said you didn't care. I don't know how, maybe this was a business thing. It had nothing to do with romance, and somebody did not come through. They haven't even acknowledged your presence, the fact that you're standing there on the porch knocking. Or if it's romantic, it's kind of the same idea. And if you think of a home, right, this can mean a lot of things. It could be a person's actual body. They haven't let you into their heart, but they kind of alluded to the fact that it's like okay to get close enough to them, but they don't let you in. Or it's like someone's literally living like a whole ass life, but yet reeled you in, got you to, like, they knew exactly what would get you to come to the house or get you to walk, get closer to them, get your attention, I guess, make you think they were interested or, in participating in seeing what's happening here. Now, if you usually think about Halloween too, not always, sometimes the people in the home that's giving out candy, they're dressed up too. But more times than not, they're usually just dressed normally. It's usually just the trick-or-treaters that are wearing costume. So I don't think you fully let your own guard down with someone yet. I don't think you did. I mean, you didn't just fall off of the turnip truck yesterday, Maybe someone thought you did. I don't know. I don't know what someone's intentions are here. I don't want to assume and think someone's like hateful. This definitely goes, it's like an extended of the video yesterday. I can feel it. So if this message is kind of like, and you want to know a little more, check out the video I did yesterday. I feel like this is kind of part of it, maybe. Usually the trick-or-treaters are the ones wearing the costumes and the people in the house are not. Let's assume here, even though I don't want to, but let's just say this person wasn't completely, I mean, even if they were, they're not opening the door. So how would you even know? At this point, you're kind of just like, I'm not going to waste my time. That's where we're at. I'm not wasting my time. It may have been a waste of my money. Some of you, if it's a business thing, you may feel like it was a waste of your money. You may even feel like it was a bit of a waste of your time. You may even feel like you got played a little bit here. You got swindled. You got tricked. You got pranked. You got punked. You got joked. Whatever. If it's romantic, you may even feel the same way. Like, just like yesterday. Is somebody playing with me? Are you messing with me? Like, what was the point in doing all this is kind of the thing. Like, what was your point in saying what you said to me? What was your point in doing what you did? But you may not ever get those answers because somebody in my vision, I'm still getting it. I see it still in my mind's eye, is not opening the door. And whatever's going on in their house, you have no way of knowing. The only thing you know is that you're responsible for yourself at this point, and you're not going to stand there and like trespass in someone's life. You're not going to put your presence in someone's life who clearly they don't appreciate it, romantically or business-wise, in any way, friendship even, family. Could be your own family members of yours. I feel this is more romantic, but you can apply this in every area where it's like, So what's going to happen is, again, I go back to one of the first things I said when I started the video. You're turning your back. So I see you walking back down, either the child here, your spiritual self, your younger self, the child within, walking down this driveway to get back into your car, where there you are again, but it's like your higher self's in the vehicle, right, driving, and you become one. Like the little you goes right back into the big you. I see this vision so clearly. It could be a movie. And you drive off. And then the person in the house peeks through the blinds. It's like when somebody's dropping off DoorDash, but for some reason you know, you don't want to answer the door or talk to them, so you're just waiting until the car leaves or they get back in the car and take the picture of the meal. It's kind of like that idea. That's what they're doing. Energetically speaking, whoever this person is that you're turning your back on now, they're looking out the window. They're feeling this. Either you walked away loudly and made it clear, like, why do they even leave their porch light on, just so they could hear you through the house, or you didn't say anything, you just quietly walked away. Either way, they felt it. Or if this is happening now, they're feeling it. If this is happening in the near future, they're going to feel it. It's an energetic thing. So they're kind of, spiritually speaking, peeking again through the blinds, watching you walk away, drive away. Now they're thinking, oh shit, like now what? It's a bit like, you could call it like a stalemate. We use those words. You could call it like a stalemate, because what happens now? We wait a whole nother ass year till that holiday comes around again. Well, you're not going to knock on the same door. You know? We don't like, and I mean we as a people, not just Aries, we don't typically like when energy is stagnant. Energy that is stagnant builds and harbors disease and a lot of secrets and a lot of darkness and shadow, mold, bacteria. Think of water that's sitting and it's trapped. This energy ain't moving nowhere, and it's funny, the air cut off. It's like, there's no airflow. There's no life in it. It's very much just something that possibly was just dressed up in costume. It was something that was just maybe even an illusion. Because at this point, this is the only thing you can think it was, because look, it's rendered, it's given you nothing. It's like literally giving you nothing to work with here. I think somebody has given you nothing to work with. So what would you do? You would be probably a little nuts to stand there and just wait for something that you have no clue what you're going to get out of it. You're not about to sit there and waste your time. Tomorrow's not promised here. We're not just going to waste our time on maybes and what ifs. You've been given no certainty. And at this point, it feels as if you've been played a little bit. Or it feels as if you've been kind of, you know, again, fucked with. And the more you start to think about it, and the further down the road you get, you're like wondering why somebody did what they did. Why did they keep that light on? Knowing damn good and well. Like, did they get some sort of satisfaction out of it, knowing that they weren't about to open that door? They weren't about to give me shit to work with, right? You think about giving candy. They haven't given me anything. It almost feels like a little bit of a trap. But for like fun and sport. Like, you're wondering even, or you will be wondering, is somebody like sitting back getting a kick out of this? I mean, even if somebody is, I don't think you're going to let it eat you alive. Some people are cruel like that, you know? Some people here are not about to try to even walk out their front door. They just want to get an amusement. They just want to peek through the curtain and see what everybody's costumes are, but they're not about to actually like live. You know, they're not about to actually participate or help or whatever this person, because I don't know who this is. I'm going to say for the majority it's a romantic thing. You know, they're not about to love you, or they're not about to make those actions or steps or make a move. They got their own little thing going on. They just were kind of bored maybe. So they wanted to like be involved a little, but not too much. They don't want to get too close. Or if it's a business thing, you know, it's the same type idea. It's like no matter what, at this point, you could just consider something like you don't even know if you got a lesson out of it. I mean, I'm sure there is some type of lesson and maybe it hasn't come through yet. For some of you it has, some of you it will. But all you can think is, or will be thinking, if not you another, if this is reversed, is kind of like, huh. It's like puzzling. But we really, as a people, at least us, for sure, I could say, do not like stagnant energy. You want to have fun with something, you want to get a kick out of something, go to a comedy club. Do I look like a fucking comedy club? And if you want me to be, I can be, but I'm going to get paid like I'm a comedy club. You're going to give me something in return. I'm not just going to be here for your amusement. This is going to be a mutually beneficial process here. You get to see my awesome costumes and I get the candy. But right now, you're just getting a free show looking through the blinds. And I'm not getting shit out of it. Yeah. So where do we go from here? Your message is very clear, but it also feels almost like, what do you call that? Like anticlimactic? Where's it going? It's boring. I'm bored. You're probably bored too. You probably already clicked off, or you're sleeping. I mean, if you were, I wouldn't blame you, because I feel like falling asleep myself. It's like you win some, you lose some. Not every instance, not every place, not every person that you approach or that approaches you ends up being something that proves to be profitable. But I gotta say this, I truly do believe there is a lesson in everything. We just have to see it. And right now at this moment, at least while I'm recording this video, I'm not seeing it. It feels like a waste, a disappointment, like almost like just, we're not going to eat the fish. We're not going to cook it and take it home and get the nutrients. We're just going to play. We're going to play fish today. It's like, are you playing with me? At this point, I guess it's like, does it really matter? You know, because I don't think you're going to get an answer. It's just dead silence. I think you're not going to get an answer, at least during this video. Somebody ain't going to get an answer. And so you can't really like, and you already know this, you can't force, you know, an answer out of someone. You can't force any energy. You can try. We've tried. And how does that work out for us? Not good, right? That's why I stopped doing that shit. That's why I stopped messing with all that. Why I don't link myself to any of that anymore. You know, we're surrounded by it in our society. People trying to force things using magic and such. We've done it too. A lot of us, myself included. And we get to a place where we realize you really can't do that. I mean, at the end of the day, where a certain situation is right now tells you everything you need to know. You shouldn't be left guessing, is my point. And are you guessing right now? That's the point. If you resonate with this message right now, you're guessing about a person, either business, a business link, you're still left guessing. If they were interested, they would have opened that door. They would have said something by now. They would have made a move, or they would have, you know, given you something to work with. If it's romantic, same thing. In every situation, even a family member, like if they were interested in mending a bond or anything, a friend, they would have done it long before now, and you wouldn't be left guessing. We're not playing a game of Clue. We're not playing gestures. We're not playing a board game. Like, what is this? You know what I mean? We're not even going to get the answer of what is this. Some lessons, maybe this is possible, that some lessons in our life are just dead ends. Some roads you drive down are just cul-de-sacs. They're not going to go anywhere. You're just going to have to turn right back around. And maybe the lesson is some areas you go down are just split ends. And when you have a split end, usually you cut it off. When you have a dead end, you usually cut it off. Your journey ends there. And maybe that's just this, like, this is as far as your connection with somebody goes. family, friend, potential lover, a business connection. I mean, this is it. It's like that emoji, like, you know, that's all you're going to get at this point. I don't know. I mean, that's so boring. Like, I just want to scrap this whole video, although I'm not going to do that because this is a clear answer for some of you. The answer is you're not going to get an answer. Not now. You may in the future, but I wouldn't even hold your breath. You'd pass out, you know, before you even, I'd have no expectations regarding anything. Sometimes people just, you never get an answer for why people do what they do. I'm kind of getting a message right now that sometimes when things like that happen, the lesson isn't actually for you at the time. It's for the person later on. Like maybe later on, whoever this is that kind of reeled you into a situation, made you believe something and did not provide that or any kind of answer for you in any way, any kind of comfort, any kind of connection, any kind of relationship, any kind of help. Later on in their life, you know, you may be like, oh, it was just a waste, or why did I do that? You know, but if you just let that go and go about your life later on, you may never even know this happens, but the person who once did that to you, maybe they're dealing with somebody. It could be through business, or it could be through the same way they dealt with you, whether it was romantic, family, and maybe someone leaves them on red. Maybe someone leaves them standing at the door, doesn't help them. Maybe they get kind of reeled in and cast back out or used, or just, you know what I'm saying? Punked. Whatever someone's intentions are that you'll never know, at least in this video, you probably won't. I don't know, right? It's still up in the air. It's going to happen to them. The lesson may not be for you here, you know, especially when it's still like this and it's so calm and the waters aren't moving at all. And you're like, the universe knows your heart. God, source, energy knows your heart. It's within. You know you. And if you're getting nothing when you're sitting there and you're taking it all within, the universe sees that shit. If you're sitting there instead of judging everyone, like, why did they do that? You know, you maybe thought that at first. Like, why did they even, if they're not gonna, ... But then you took it within, or you will, or you're doing it right now, or you did in the past, whatever, we're all on different timelines. However this is happening, whenever this is happening, you turned it within. You internalized it, because that's how we learn lessons. That's how we grow. It's not by pointing out here and projecting. So you may have done it at first, but you got no answers from that. So then you went within again, and you realized, I don't know. You're asking God, the universe, whoever you believe in, you're still not getting what lesson you were supposed to get out of it, because that's your lesson. It's for them. And like I said, you may never know what lesson they learned from it, but that could very well be what it is. That they're getting to them what they did to you. And maybe they'll be sitting there and they'll be like, you know, I've been working with this company. Let's say it's business. I'll just say that for me, even though I feel like it's more romantic for a lot of you watching. There's a larger group of you that's for. But if it's for some of you here where it's business, and maybe like someone left you hanging, they could have basically made you feel like you were not a priority, like they just took your money. They didn't even care. This is going to happen to them. And they may be sitting somewhere and be like, this company is this and this and this. And then, but it's like, no matter what, they're not going to get any help. No one's going to listen to them, because that's exactly what they did to you. And then they'll be sitting there thinking, oh, you know, like you'll pop back in your, and this could be like 5-10 years down the road or longer. Could be a couple days, couple weeks. I mean, you never know, right? But then you also have it where if it's like a romantic situation, someone could have like played with you a little bit. Let's say they did. I don't know their intentions, but let's say they did. Whatever someone's intentions were for you before, or whatever they did what they did to get you to be comfortable with them. I mean, clearly you were comfortable enough to, in my vision, walk up to the front door and knock. You were invested enough to try. You were trying in some way. I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen to them. It's just a matter of time. The lesson may not be for us for this one. So I'm going to leave this here. This isn't going to go anywhere else. Not right now. Again, I just want to say that because you never know. I mean, anybody can kind of change later on in the future, but again, the future is not promised. Really, we just are in one big now. You never know. So at the moment, right now, as these words are coming out of my voice, even if this video gets posted, the answer during now is the door just closed. You hear that? It's not a coincidence. Close the door, turn your back on a person, a situation. I wouldn't ask any more questions internally and wonder why, because you're not going to get that answer. I would continue to focus on other areas of your life and put your energy solely in those things, and kind of just put this to the side for now. You know, put it to the side, and maybe later on you'll get some sort of sign from it. But I wouldn't expect it. I wouldn't wait on it. I wouldn't even anticipate it. I would just focus on a completely different area, because right now this is a complete stalemate. All right, guys, I love you so much. Thank you for being here with me, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.